I
Have 12:05. Call this meeting to order. We'll start off as we usually start off remotely, but with the Pledge of Allegiance going to Mr. George Narvaez's flag. Ready?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the
United States of America,
of America, to the republic for which it stands,
nation under God, indivisible.
indivisible, with liberty and justice.
Okay, great. Next item up, I guess we'll do roll call. Victoria, when you know.
Okay, so Miss Elizabeth Alonso Villarreal,
Present.
Mr. George Narvaez,
Present.
Mr. Carlos Gordillo,
present.
Mr. Hector Cortez,
Present.
Mr. Arturo Tomas Benavides,
Present.
Mr. Robert Judd Gilpin, not present, Mr. Jose D. Gonzalez,
Present.
and Dr. Carlos Valle Jr. Not present. We have a quorum.
Okay, perfect. With that being said, I guess you already emailed the last minutes. Hopefully we have an opportunity to review it. If you haven't, give you a couple of seconds to review and I'll take a motion.
Move to approve.
Is that Hector?
Yes, sir.
There's motion. Second?
Second.
Is that George or Liz? George?
George is fine.
Okay. All right. Any comments? I'm sorry, all in favor? Aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion passes.
I just joined the meeting as y'all were doing that item. I didn't vote on it because I didn't hear the whole thing.
Fair enough. So, Victoria, just for the record, acknowledge that Judge Gilpin has arrived at our meeting. All right. With that being said, citizen comments. Are there any citizen comments that are available right now? Anything submitted? If not, we'll move forward and start with the staff comments.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to start off with the passenger report. As you can see, the first page of your report, in the passenger report, excuse me?
Are you gonna put that on the? Are you gonna put that up? Or we're gonna have to just while we print it out? Review.
I can put it up there if I'm allowed to share my screen. Yes, I am allowed to. Let me.
Thank you. It makes it easier for us.
Yeah. Yes, I don't think the copy I have it's color copy. I don't know if you have it, Victoria, on electronic format.
I do. Do you want me to send it to you?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Because the previous one I have is black and white, so I asked for a color copy, which I have here. I think on the email that got sent to you, it wasn't color copy, so I'll make sure we all have it now. Apologize for the delay. We'll be there in no time. Can read this. Okay. Can everyone see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay. Starting off with the passenger report, as you can see, it was the plane was better than than last year, obviously for COVID reasons, but we still have not gotten to the point of 2019. We're getting there. As you can see, our numbers from October and November compared to 2019 are way better, but we still not there from 2019 numbers because of the low start of the year from January and February. But we're optimistic that we'll meet 2019 numbers. On the deep plane, that's a different story. As you can see, we're way below of people arriving here to Laredo and deplaning here on our airport. That could be several factors, as well as just COVID, right? That people are just not flying to Laredo. So the number is it's 11% lower compared to 2019. It's 10,000 passengers less. But I mean, numbers are starting to pick up on the last 3 months. So hopefully we continue there and we close the gap at the end of the year. Moving on cargo. On cargo, it's been a really good year so far. Obviously, compared to last year is way better, but compared to the 2019, which is the kind of a good year to compare, we are 8% above from 2019. We continue to see movement there in the cargo area, and we continue to have improvements there. And as you can see on one of the proposals that I'm submitting for you all for review for next council item, you'll see a consultant for air cargo, which we will discuss later on when we get there. But we're taking advantage of our position, and we're trying to market our airport more and more every single day to get more this number up. As we go down to the federal inspection, it's been also a good year for the FIS operations. There has been more arrivals and departures, and as you can see here, a very good year, 6,624 compared to 2,500 on average for the last prior years. The one that's hasn't picked up really, it's been the SAT, the Mexican Customs, and that could be several reasons. Obviously, a lot of the companies over there and travel over there has been restricted, and obviously COVID is a big concern in Mexico given the actual political climate over there. So that could be reflected. Could be a reflection here of the numbers overall with the industries and everything closing, shutting down over there. As we move forward.
Mr. Sanchez, on that note, I know that we had a meeting just recently with the Economic Development Foundation promoting this a little bit more, asking them to promote this a little bit more. I know it's restricted because of it only allows 5 industries to import, and you have to be pre-approved.
Correct.
So I know Amazon's trying to make a big push to get down here, and that's another reason that they don't. I know on the U.S. side they're calling that, what's that? I forgot the terminology, but there's where they're trying to do the small packages. Are they still continuing to push on the political level to open up and broaden that up, or are we still waiting to see what the new government or the government waiting till the next government comes in, or what's the status on that? Or is the Economic Development Foundation even doing anything right now?
Yeah, well, I haven't heard anything from the Economic Development Foundation though, but we continue to have meetings here with our SAT and our customs, obviously. Right now, I know it hasn't been as operational as we would like it to be. There has been some concerns for some reason. If you want to call it, like the stars hasn't aligned for this project to pick off because my understanding is that at some point it was the Mexican government that was not on board, and right now apparently the Mexican government is on board on this project for the talks I've been having with them. But right now we have this little issue with little, but it's a big issue with TSA right now, which are the ones holding up the project right now on this end to kick off as we all like it to be, because we all know the potential that it has. But I mean, it's just for one reason or another, the stars haven't aligned there. And as you mentioned, Amazon Air, the consultant that I'm trying to bring on board, that's one of the things, one of the tasks that they will have to work with Amazon Air and try to bring them on board here to Laredo and make this project take off the way that we really want it, and we know it should be at this point.
Thanks, I appreciate it, but the only thing is, since we have a monopoly and we're the only one that operates this kind of service, I just, it's a government issued service or a government sponsored service, basically. We just want to make sure we don't lose it, or even go to another port, because if this could be easily beneficial to maybe Memphis with a hub for FedEx or UPS for us in Kentucky, and we want to make sure that we maintain it here since we're right here at the border. So
Exactly, yeah.
push a bit more with the development foundations to make sure that, hey, we got to promote this. Otherwise, we have a potential opportunity to lose it. We don't want to do that.
Exactly, I agree totally with you. I mean, I think this is a potential star that we have here in our hands right now, and we need to exploit it. So moving on the passengers, on the private passengers, obviously, this has been also a great year for the private passenger industry here at the Laredo International Airport. As you can see here, the numbers, 4,302 versus 2,000 from 2019. So it's been pretty good so far for the air charter and the private passenger industry right now here in Laredo, and we expect it to continue to grow in this year. So moving forward on the total FIS operation, it's the same as I was talking to you right now. It's we have seen a big increase here, but just not on the Mexican side. The SAT, Mexican Customs, has not seen the operations from prior year that they have seen here. So hopefully we continue to work. We continue to have meetings with SAT and all the people that we can in Mexico to make sure that people know about this project, manage, promote it as much as we can, along with our foreign trade zone, which I also think there's a big opportunity there to make it grow because of our special location that we have here. So moving on the fuel report, you're gonna see more gallons, obviously, because of all the movement that we just mentioned, and obviously more revenue on that. Also, the prices are up, so that helps also for our revenue. But I mean, the movement continue to grow, as you can see on the last months from August to November compared to 2019. We're doing way better on the total gallons, so we're seeing a whole lot more movement than before, which is good for us. That's what we want. On the delinquent reports, we continue to have these two companies, NetJets and Skyway Enterprises, for a total of almost $10,000 owed to the airport. We continue to send letters. We have the notice of default there on your package. It was copied there. You can see both, and we will continue pushing until we get our money. Moving on to the construction report, I'll hand it over to Mr. Labrada for that.
Mr. Chairman, good afternoon, everybody. The status of the construction of the Laredo International Airport Cargo apron on phase 14 is 65%. Is business as usual. Basically, we're moving along. That's my report, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
All right, and moving on general staff comments. I would like to go into the agenda items for yesterday's agenda, if you allow me, Mr. Chairman. As you all know, we had a council meeting yesterday, and we had to postpone our meeting last week for urgency of putting these two items there. We advised you, as you all requested, for us to advise once an item was going to council before going to you. I thought it was important to submit these items, so we submitted them, and then also advise you on that. I know there was a concern about the Aeromar contract, the $390,000 brought to us by Miss Alonso. As possible, I tried, but if you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer any of your questions that you might have on the Aeromar contract. Yes, sir.
Just for clarity, I know that, I don't know, a lot of us are aware of it, but we have I can guarantee, how close are we getting to those numbers where there's no taxpayer money going out to them, but that they're hitting their own numbers? Are we balancing out, or are we having to sit there subsidized?
Right now, unfortunately, we do have, they do need that revenue guarantee. I don't have to build up the operation to Mexico. But like I mentioned, it's the numbers are picking up a little bit. They're not where they would like it to see or where we would like it to see, but they're getting better. So, like I said on the previous contract, the amount in revenue guarantee was 800 in tickets and 200 in marketing. So we're bringing it down to 390, and plus they're paying landing fees now. That was part of the 380 agreement before, that they had 100% discount on that. Right now they're gonna get that's bringing down to 75% discount on landing fees. So aside that, we brought down the incentive package. We're getting some revenue on that end for the airport, and that route Laredo to Ciudad de Mexico active. We just need to put money in there, but it's not airport money. Like I said, I mean, it's coming from the capital improvement fund. It's basically marketing money, and the way it's gonna work, we're gonna get the vouchers for a discount, and the city will be the sole responsible, say how we're gonna use those discount codes, even maybe market. City travel, it's up to us. We can do that, and we have an extension until March 23 to use these vouchers that we're gonna buy this each month this year. In essence, I mean, are their numbers where they need to be for Aeromar? No, unfortunately not. But I mean, there's been several circumstances like COVID and other things, restrictions on travel, that may have affected those numbers. So hopefully, I know Omicron still out there and it's taking a toll in a lot of people. So, I mean, I would like to say that hopefully this will be a good year to compare, but it's not. It didn't start any good for a lot of us. So, I mean, we'll just hold on and see and just hope for the end of the year.
If I may, Mr. Gonzalez, just a comment. So on the marketing aspect of it, if that's what's going to be done, it really needs to be marketed using all media, TV, whatever you have, because you know, people watch TV, people, you know, go, you know, they're especially on their devices, you know, they watch the news, the newspaper, but it really needs to be pushed because, and that's why I asked that question. I understand guarantees. I understand, you know, that contract was negotiated and it was agreed to, right? But we also want to make sure that, you know, tickets are being sold, and sometimes that has to do with marketing now. I know a lot of people are still traveling even with COVID. I had a lot of friends who traveled to Mexico and, you know, which I hope they took the airline, you know, but if not, you know, we really need to market it. You know, if I think that's where your money's going to be, to market,
Yes.
so that we can get those numbers up, because those guarantees, it's money that's just taken
Yeah.
away.
No, obviously, I know we cannot continue to have revenue guarantees forever and ever, unlimited revenue guarantees for the years that they want to be here. Obviously, we cannot do that, and the 75% has to also come down eventually to 50, 25, and then pay 100% of the landing fees, obviously. But for that, we need to build the market, and I couldn't agree more with you. We need to market it. We need to make sure that people know that this is available and you can take it here from your City of Laredo Airport. And for that, we do have a meeting with a month. I want to say it's bi-weekly meeting with the people from Idomar and our 2 weeks. And we discuss all the things that we're doing on our end and what they're doing on their end also, because obviously it's on their best interest to market it over there and have people fly to use their route. And like I said, I mean, we're working with CBB, and that was one of the things that we added this time around on the contract. The flight schedule, because it wasn't there before. So Aeromar was able to change their flight schedule whenever they feel like it or something like that. When something popped up, they would just change a flight or anything. So change have a significant change of the schedule of flights without written consent from the city, because that's also impacts the marketing effort. So you're marketing a Wednesday flight, all your marketing efforts are down the drain. That so we make sure to have that, and now we have a more tight contract, and CBB can work more with those dates that are there and start taking off from the promotion from there.
Okay.
Just to add to Liz's comment as well, take into consideration, you have a budget as well taken away to promote this. So get that marketing. And number two, I know our contract is getting ready to, or there was a limited time frame for the contract, I think 1 or 2 years. Can you see if you can provide that information if allowed, and also to find out if there's any extensions based on the circumstances, like you stated, you know, that we're not going to be able to hit our numbers, and then during this time frame, if we can kind of reduce that budget, because it affects the taxpayers and the bottom line, and want to make sure that, you know, it's a win-win for all of us, not just for one-sided company, if that makes sense. And knowing that we need a benefit for this flying direct to Mexico, but at the same time, benefit the entire community as well.
Mhm.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, we'll look into that and we'll provide you the information. And I agree with all the comments. I mean, we cannot subsidize any airline here forever and ever. It's just taxpayers' money at the end of the day, one way or another. Not airport funds though, but I mean, still taxpayers' money. And we need to promote. We need to make sure that the routes are successful, and we need to. All right, moving on, the other item that was presented was an award for Madison Avenue Marketing to handle all the things from the airport, from the social media to the website to photograph videos from the airport and graphic designs and everything. It was one from Monterrey, Mexico, and the other one, it was called OGS. They were from out of town, and we currently have the contract with Madison. Their response time is very good, so we selected them again, and we continue to do business with per year. So it was approved by council also, and as well as the Aeromar contract. I don't know if you have any questions or comments on this contract.
Are they gonna market the current flights to Mexico?
Yes, that's exactly. They pretty much do whatever we tell them to do, and
Okay.
the response time is pretty good. And we tell them to do an ad for the WBCA. For the following day, they'll provide us with some options, and they'll have all the information available. So
Okay.
they're good. Okay, moving on the comments also, I wanted to let you know that as you requested, the RFP went out, I want to say at the first week of January. So it's going to close at the end of January to hopefully we get some responses. Obviously by that time we'll know all the who bid on it, and we'll have the meeting, and we can tell you all what came out of it. Just pending to close it and have the responses open.
Yes, I did see that. I did see it in the bids that went out. So I really appreciate that, and hopefully we can get somebody the city can consider and get these buildings leased out so that, we can have more revenue there at the airport. Thank you.
Yes, that's the point. Thank you so much. Moving on to number 6 for the action items. If you allow me, Mr. Shefman. Number 1 is discussion with possible action on a 5-year agreement, term security system services with Convergent item to be sent to City Council on February 7, 2022. And on that one, Chief De Hoyos can elaborate a little bit more. That we have here at the airport. I mean, we needed to have some people on call, somebody that's reliable, which we hadn't had in the past few years, but this company is reliable. If you have any more specific questions to it, I mean, Chief De Hoyos is here and can answer anything that you might have. No questions? Okay, well, this contract is gonna go on the February 7 agenda. The second one is a discussion with possible action to accept a hub point proposal for all LRD air cargo development support item to be sent to City Council on February 7, 2022. This is a company that I briefly mentioned you about. It's a company that specializes on air cargo. We have done previous work here for the on 1 year under contract. So I want to keep them for this year with some established goals and metrics, right? Obviously, one would be the Amazon Air, as you mentioned, Mr. Chairman. Obviously, I understand that's not going to happen. But I want to see work on that end, that they know what we have, that they know what we offer, and these consultants are the ones that they can approach them, and they can do a lot of work for us on the air cargo initiatives. Going to meetings. On the how you say on the routes or conferences for all the city cargos events throughout the United States. And also to mention is that this company works very well with our one of our developers for the cargo, which is AFCO. So they do have the contact with them. So we expect for them to work together and promote our new development that we're having here at the airport with AFCO Group.
These are action items. Should we be making motions and doing them, or these are just for discussion only?
Well, yeah, I mean, there should be action items. So if you allow me a motion to approve the proposed discussion.
I think we already missed the first one.
Yeah, we missed the first.
Yeah, so we'll go ahead and go with the first one. I guess if you can repeat it real quick, and then we'll go ahead and make a motion and go ahead and go to the second one, because we've already,
Yes.
there's no discussion.
Yes, sir. Sorry about that. Okay, so have a discussion with possible action on a 5-year agreement, term security system services with Convergent item to be sent to City Council on February 7, 2022.
Any discussion, or anybody like to make a motion?
Move to approve.
Okay, first, second. Would be a second, the second the motion?
I think Mr. Gilpin was first and
Yeah, I saw that, yeah. And Hector, you'd be second? Second,
Yes, sir.
Hector Cortez. Okay, since y'all seen this motion approved, all in favor say aye.
I,
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion passes. Okay, any discussion on this though? Because I know we didn't have any initially, so.
Yeah.
Okay, second item, we'll go ahead and repeat the second, Ms. Sanchez.
Discussion with possible action for a hub point proposal for LRD air cargo development support item to be sent to City Council on February 7, 2022.
I just have a question on this. So will we be getting like a report back on their activities? Is that part of the agreement?
Yeah, I can. I mean, as obviously the contract hasn't been approved and still worked on. I can add those a monthly report so we can share with you all to see what they're doing and what are we getting for our money.
There you go.
That's a great idea.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, I if there's no other comment.
George Narvaez. Okay, all in favor?
I,
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion passes. There you go. Now we're caught up.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Moving on to number 3, discussion with possible action for legal services with Flaster Greenberg, PC attorneys at law. amount not to exceed 50,000. Item to be sent to City Council on February 7, 2022. This item is for a specialized legal team that they're very specific to airports. They have worked on concessions. They have worked on several airports. He's currently helping us on the contract with Millionaire. He's a very sharp attorney. Dan Markin is his name. I would like to have this. I would like also to mention that this is on call service arrangement. Pretty much every time you need it, they'll bill us. It was not a $50,000 check for them. The observations they make to the contract and how they're working for us on the Millionaire contract. So I would like to keep him on a retainer, and for every time that we need something, I want to be able to call him, and he'll be more than glad, obviously, to help out the Laredo team. Basically, that's what it is for on-call services for them, which they're very specific. They have a very specific team for the airports. They have worked with several airports. They can help us in several contracts, concessions, you name it. So I would like to have a motion to have them on an on-call basis for the Laredo Airport, not to exceed the 50,000.
There was no information attached right to the agenda on that. I'm trying to find it, but
There is an engagement letter, but
yes.
are they going to be representing the airport directly as the airport's attorney, or are they going to be working on an advisory basis to help support the city attorney?
Yeah, they'll be working as an advisory. For instance, I can say on the Millionaire contract, they were subcontracted. So they're working on the best interest for the city to align that contract with what we currently have, our insurances, our ordinances. So making sure that everything's aligned and proposing things that they have done with other airports that they're not out of the question. So I mean, it's basically they'll be representing us as the city airport.
And the funding, is that funding coming from the airport budget or?
Budget, well, like I said, it's on a need basis. It's not a $50,000 check. It's just whenever they're needed, they're called, and they can work on any contract or anything that we have here, any issues that we have here at the airport. That's when they will start billing us.
what is the time frame?
It's for this fiscal year, so it will be from February to September. Or we can do
And
it.
those contracts are still subject to approval by the city attorney and city council, correct?
Right.
The airport's not going to start executing the contracts on its own.
Yes, correct.
No, the airport will be executing contracts, or
No,
it's
no,
for
no.
the approval of city council.
He will guide us. He will do all the legwork, and then once the contract is finalized by the airport and this attorney, the contract will go to the to our legal team to verify that it complies with all the city requirements.
Okay, so he's an advisor for us to help support
Yes.
the city.
Correct.
And just not just taking consideration the budget. Is this, like you said, is this budgeted amount, or which fund is this coming from the airport?
It's currently from our revenue stream. We do have a healthy fund right now. Obviously, we do have the CARES and a couple of more grants that we received on prior years. So we're currently on a very healthy fund balance. Obviously, I mean, once you factor in the expansion, well, yeah, we're gonna need some more money there, but balance and the revenues, our revenue stream can support that. And obviously,
And
we
in the event that, that the services are not required, the city's not required to pay them at the end of the term?
no, it's pretty much like an attorney, like your regular attorney that they start billing once you call them and ask for something. As it stands right now, I mean, we might use only 10,000 out of those 50,000 that I'm putting on the contract. I just wanted to make it very transparent and very clear. So I put 50,000 so I can go to council and make it as transparent as possible. I just don't want a $20,000. Not the way we operate, so we want to make it as transparent as possible. So here we are in front of you before going to council to have it approved, if possible.
And has legal reviewed the contract or the proposal?
Yes, they have reviewed it. They sent some comments. I sent it back to them, and that's the engagement letter that you have in front of you in your package.
Which one is it? Because I didn't find it. Unless I'm not looking at it.
I can probably share it here. Should be towards the.
Starts on page 37 of the attached packet. 37 is the
Oh,
starting
okay.
page of the letter.
Yeah, here it is. So you can see here it's an on-call capacity, meaning that they're not just getting the check right now for 50,000. It will be just for the services needed.
$4.70 an hour average. Okay.
Yes. And like I said, they have a team very specific that has worked with airports and fine tuning all the contracts from several airports around.
All the discussion, I don't know if you want to take a second to review some of this information or if anybody wants to make a motion.
I would like to review this particular document.
George, that being said, you want to table this or?
Yeah, I think I would like to table it to read it at full length, unless there's a deadline.
No, not at all. We can table it. I can send you more information about their bios and all the information that I have from them, so you can have it, and we can put it on for the next meeting if you wish to.
So with that being said, Mr. Sanchez will table it and put
Okay.
this. Do I need a second on the table or just move forward with that information?
I was going to ask the same thing. Do we need a vote to table it, or how do we do that?
I think we just table.
Yeah.
No, we need to
No
vote.
action. Just
Normally,
table.
table requires a vote.
Yes.
Motion second vote.
Okay, so George,
Yeah.
Judd, second, all in favor, table this item?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? So we'll go ahead and table it for next month. All right. Great.
Sure. Okay. Action item number 4 is a discussion with possible action of approval for proposed dates for advisory board 2022. On this one, well, the person that was in charge of this just reported. Victoria, they gave it to you.
I believe that they're attached.
They're attached at the bottom. Sorry.
They're the last page.
Yes, the last page. So I can share again. Here they are, the proposed. January 19, February 9, March 9, April 13, May 11, June 8, July 13, August 10, September 14, October 12, November 9, and December 14.
It's pretty much every second Wednesday of the month, right?
Yes, we only had to reschedule this one, but it's pretty much the second Wednesday of the month.
So the second Wednesday of February, is it still gonna be online?
Well, it all depends on the mayor orders. We're just following right now a emergency order that was sent out from the mayor. So we're basically doing what following that order. That order, I think it expires this coming week, so they might be extending that order for each week go until this normalizes.
Okay.
All right, so if you all agree with these dates, I have a motion to agree with these dates.
I'm just this is just me. Usually my second week of the month is really heavy on my end over here because of work. But I mean, whatever you all, I mean, don't wait on me. And I'd prefer the third week, but
Do you want us to revise it and send you a one week?
I just don't want it to be me. I mean, everybody else, chime in, and
I'm good
that's
with
the
it.
only
The
thing
time that works better for council to hear our recommendations.
yeah, that too. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll try to work with the council.
No.
April
Judge
4.
Cortez, I know you have a time frame as well. What days you can't make, or what are your days? I remember that we were having an issue several years ago when we worked around your schedule as well.
Yeah, well, the council meetings are on the first and third Monday of the month usually. So that's the thing. All the items sent to you before we go to council, unless there's a special circumstance like we had this past time around. But obviously we'll send out the items to you all. But obviously we would like it to have a vote and approval from you before going to council.
To me, this is a better schedule to me, because I know that.
Affirm.
September, I'm gonna-
Yeah, the later in the month myself is busier. The earlier for me is better, but like I said, that's just me.
Just try this, and I'll just play it by ear.
Thanks, Liz.
I'll
Appreciate
try to move my meetings around too. It's
it.
okay.
Thank you, Liz.
Mhm.
So with that being said, anybody would like to make a motion on this schedule?
Yes. I think,
Good?
I would think, but I'm not sure, but I would think.
And second?
I'll second it, Judd.
Was that a motion?
All right, great.
I
Thanks.
thought you were asking if we had to make a motion. You're asking, is there a motion? Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But, so all in favor? Aye?
I
Any opposition? All right, I guess the motion passes unanimously.
All right, Mr. Chairman, then that's it for my action items.
Great, thank you. Opportunity for any comments and additional information that we'd like to provide or request. Anybody on the board?
Only one situation, at the end of this month, I'm having a knee surgery. So if the next meeting is going to be in person, I probably won't be able to hobble over there. Hopefully it's online, but I'm gonna have to ask for a medical excuse for this next meeting.
Mr. Sanchez, I know the city has a policy and taking into consideration the circumstances that
Yeah.
it's either hybrid or on-site. there is no, I mean, it's either on-site or you know, or
Yes,
the same policy gonna stand.
well, obviously we follow the city policy, but we can take a look at it, to see if we can, given the circumstances, do a special permit. What we can do to accommodate.
I think when there's a medical, situation or anything like that, I think those absences should be excusable. I mean,
I agree.
yeah.
No, well,
Maybe
we'll
we
keep
should just
doing it.
check to see what the city policy is with medical excuses.
Yes.
Because with the medical, you really have no choice, especially with the COVID.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for all we know, we probably will still be a WebEx meeting.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Well, you don't want to be positive and then be forced to go to a meeting. Because you're going to get an absence.
Right.
That situation has to be looked into.
Yeah, no, but we'll look into it. We'll see what the city policy is, and we'll see what we can do. Definitely, we'll work with you.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Sanchez. And with that being said, anybody make a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Got a couple of meeting adjourned. I did it in less than an hour, so doing good on time. Appreciate that. Everybody enjoy yourselves and
All right. Thank you so much.
Everybody take care.